Hi everyone, welcome to Dennis Deep Cuts, the 34th installment of this fine YouTube series. Today we're going to talk to someone who's married to a record collector. Let's see what happens. So today we're going to talk to someone who's married to a record collector, what that means, the trials and tribulations of that. And that someone is my wife, Hilda. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, how do you feel?
About
Being on the show and talking about record collecting.
I feel honored to be on Dennis Deep Cuts.
Yes.
Not just behind the scenes.
Exactly, because Hilda is the one that does all the thumbnails for the show. So you've seen her aesthetically pleasing little thumbnails everywhere. Yes.
They're okay.
Yeah. So, when we first met and you came to my apartment almost 7 years ago, what did you make of the record collection that I had?
Well, your home in itself, not just your record collection, was like a small museum in my...
Yeah.
According to me.
Yeah. Did you think
my
that...
experience.
Yeah. Did you think that I was a bit of a freak or no?
Not really. I thought it was really exciting.
Oh. No. There's hope for you record collector nerds out there still.
But I don't think I realized how many records you actually had until we moved to this house.
Yeah, then it becomes quite obvious just how many records there are.
Yeah, because when they're in the shelves, it doesn't look like it's that many, but when they're all like spread out on the floor,
yes,
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. So you grew up mostly, I assume, CDs and maybe file sharing. So
yeah,
you didn't really buy vinyl when you were a kid.
No, not at all.
But you grew up in a household where your mom and dad have a pretty decent record collection.
Yeah.
That I rummage through once in a while, and whenever we go to visit, I'll DJ, I'll play records. They got a pretty decent record collection.
And my dad also gives you some new music to listen to.
He's great. So
he tries to expand your mind.
Yeah. So you were quite used to, but you didn't really listen to vinyl at home, did you?
No, never.
What do you think? What do you think is the best thing about being married to a record collector?
The best thing is probably that you help me find new music, because you're always looking into new music. It's not just 80s punk, even though there's a lot of it.
What?
So that I would say is the biggest positive. And also, I mean, I do appreciate listening to vinyl now.
Yeah. I mean,
having the physical press in my hands and having the lyrics and everything. And I feel like when you listen to a vinyl, you listen more focused.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting on a playlist on Spotify or whatever.
That's what I always say. That it's more of a, it's more an activity than just having something in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've also started buying vinyl from the bands that I really like.
Yeah. Because when we met...
It's a way of supporting.
Yeah, when we met, I think you had 2 records.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and now you have at least a box of records.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
But now it's also if I find something that I really like, I often tell you you should buy this record.
I know.
And then you buy it, and it's in your collection.
I know, but you can still listen to it. So one of the things, because I'll talk about this maybe on an episode, how I've arranged my record collection. Because you always tell me that you have problems finding records.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't really know how it's organized.
I mean, I've asked you a couple of times, like how to find things.
Yeah.
But I don't remember from time to time.
That's true. But
because it's often when it's like when you're on tour or when you're not at home, and I want to listen to a record, I can't find it because when you're at home, I just ask you.
Yeah.
Can you get me this one?
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, it's not just like in the order from A to C.
No, not at all.
So it's a bit more difficult.
It is a bit more tricky, yeah. But I always know exactly where my records are. Yeah. So it's good for me. It's a good system that I have, but it's a bit tricky if you don't know where the records are. It's a bit tricky.
And I never put them back.
No, you don't.
When you come home, there's usually a small pile of...
Yeah, that's fine. I'll put them back where they're supposed to be. What would you say is the worst thing about being married to a record collector?
I mean, it's a really small thing, but when you're away and you have ordered records, or people have ordered records from you, I have to be the one going to the post office.
Oh, yeah.
Collecting and, posting them, so...
It's not that
No,
big
it's
of a
not a
problem.
big problem.
I could definitely have other vices in life that be a bit more destructive than collecting records.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have...
And I mean, you have like a separate economy for that.
Yes,
so
I do.
So it doesn't affect our economy.
No, not that much.
No, I mean...
I do.
It's not like...
I do have a separate record collecting economy. I'll talk about that sometime too. But do you have any idea what my record collection is worth? You don't need to tell the number, but you know how much it's worth.
Probably.
All right.
Because people ask sometimes, and then you tell them.
That is true.
So yeah, I know it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And...
do you know how many records I have?
Yeah, I think in the 10,000.
Yes, it's almost up to 13,000 now. But then when I say 13,000, I mean it's LPs, it's 7 inches, it's tapes, it's actually a couple of DVDs and a couple of CDs. So, but my entire collection of music is almost 13,000.
But it's also
titles.
Like hard to. A number like that, it's hard to...
Yeah. As I say, until you have it all laid out on the floor, then there's a lot of it.
It's hard to grasp.
Yeah. We're lucky enough to have you can't see it here, but we have a really big room. That's our music room where we have all our instruments and all the records. And it's a really big room, but I do still have records in closets all over the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to fit them all.
Yeah. So when...
But I mean, I don't really care about how many records you have.
No.
I mean, I don't think anyone does. Or maybe like other record collectors.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a competition.
But I mean, your record collection is you.
To a certain extent, yeah.
So
it's very much a representation.
And you have a very broad taste in music, so I feel like it represents you and your taste in music.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know if I want to get to know you even more one day.
Yeah, dig in deeper on some of the records.
Yeah.
I'll make you like a top list of records that meant a lot to me, so you can dig in on those records.
Yeah.
I mean, it is special because, we've been hanging out for a long time, but I've been collecting records for a very, very long time. So, of course, there are tons of phases that you weren't part of and tons of when I was really into that for a year or really into that. So there's definitely a lot for you to discover in my record collection. Do you ever... I know we did this a couple of weeks ago. We had a couple of friends over. and everybody just picked records randomly, and then we played a song from. Do you ever do that when I'm not around? Just like, this looks interesting, let's put this on.
No.
No, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it
Like
was
we
fun.
were 5 or 6 people, and then everybody just picked a record. We didn't know anything. Well, I knew, but people didn't know anything about them. They just like, oh, this looks interesting. Let's play this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much of your music that I don't really like.
What?
Like your fascination with Danzig.
Dancing. He's the best.
I have a hard time understanding. And I don't really come from like listening to rock music.
That is true.
So
So
yeah,
even
I'm
though,
a bit more picky.
yeah,
I
even
would
though
like to know, like, okay, this shelf,
is
I might find
that
something.
you might like that. You stay clear of that section over there because that's all American hardcore, I guess. So, yeah.
yeah.
But we actually met at the punk show.
I mean, I
First-
do like rock now.
Yeah. I'm
And
not
I-
saying. I mean, no one thinks that you
And
don't like rock.
I think that you have like opened my mind to that a bit. And
Right.
also, I do like hardcore, but I like new hardcore.
Yeah.
More like, I like to call it
Post-hardcore.
post-hardcore,
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's not like,
Just angry men.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you. There's I mean, I did a full episode on new hardcore. That's pretty great. So yeah, but we did actually meet at a punk show. Yeah, which is interesting. But I assume that you weren't a punk because I'd never seen you at punk shows before. But yeah.
No, I was not.
So
One of my friends played in your brother's band.
yes, it's true. Still does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when we hung out. Well, wait. So here's the fun. Do you know my most expensive record? Which one it is?
No,
No.
I don't know where it is either.
But what do you think it is?
I would guess maybe like a Misfits record.
And you are correct. The Misfits Bullet 7-inch might be one of the most expensive. Maybe not the most expensive, but Misfits Bullet's probably one of the most expensive 7-inches they have. And then the Bad Brains first single, that's super expensive. But yeah, it's over there somewhere. But
I mean, sometimes it can be a bit frustrating when like I think we should do something to the house or like buy a new car, and
yeah,
I know that Dennis has these expensive records, but
it's a different economy.
Yeah.
Let's not get that involved in the house economy. That's not good. So I want to talk to you about, because it's easy. You are on my show and you're my wife. I'm talking about my record collection, but you are also a musician and you play music. So I want to talk to you about that a little bit. Like,
okay.
how did you get into? Well, I know how you got into playing music because every
You
time.
know everything.
Well, I know everything, but people out on the internet might not know it.
Yeah.
Every time we go to Hilda's family, her dad busts out the guitar, and your mom has like, it's not an accordion, but it's kind of a small accordion. I don't know what it's
Yeah.
called in English.
Me neither.
And then they start singing, and you have 2 sisters, and you all sing in harmony. And I feel kind of like the chump in the room, and I just slowly back out of the room. I'm like, yeah. So you've been singing your entire life,
Yeah.
but you didn't start playing music by yourself until later in life.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in that kind of family where everyone played music, and also having an older sister, she was an amazing singer from a really young age.
She's still a pretty amazing singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she hasn't lost that
No,
ability.
no.
So I was kind of like growing up in her shadow, and like she was the big star of the family, and I didn't have that. I couldn't sing like Mariah Carey or
Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Which your sister sort of can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Which is wild.
And she could from the age of like 10 or something.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, growing up in her shadow and also having a family that like everyone could play. It wasn't. I mean, for me, it felt like, well, this is normal. You know, everyone can play music. So I didn't realize it was something unique.
Yeah.
Until I grew up and moved away.
You realized almost no one can sing.
Yeah. And then I also realized that my abilities were unique.
Of course.
And not just like being able to sing. So then I started writing songs. And yeah.
And then...
that's where it started.
Yeah, that's where it started. And then since, I mean, a couple of years back now, you are singing in an excellent band called Blodet. And you have a new record coming out in September? October?
Yeah, September.
September?
29th.
29th of September, the new Blodet record. It is fantastic. I must say,
I'm release a new single tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Friday.
I'm a bit biased, of course, but even before you were singing in the band, we actually saw them live.
Yeah.
And we thought they were great. But
Yeah.
they were an instrumental band to start with. And we went to a festival and we saw them and we were both like, oh, these guys are great.
Yeah, they were from my hometown, so I was really impressed. It's a really small town. And I thought to myself, if they ever get a singer, that should be me.
Yes, and then they asked you, like 6 months later, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a good affirmation.
Yeah. No, it was perfect. I remember you saying that when we left the show, like, oh, I would like to sing in a band like that. I'm like, okay, and then here you are. And that's great, yeah. So check out the Blodet record. Well, you have an EP out that's great, but then the album is fantastic. It's out on Church Road Records, right?
Yes.
And then you're also, if anyone saw Invasion live in December, you were also substituting on keyboard in Invasion because Kiki has a kid, so she can't really tour. And
she was on mother's leave.
Yes,
I guess you would call it.
yeah, exactly. And then you're also touring with us in October because we're doing a full, we're doing a 2-week European tour with Invasion in October, and you're coming along on that ride as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun playing the synth.
Yeah. And it's fun touring.
Yeah.
And
it's great.
We get along really well on tour.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah. I was a bit worried. I'm like, how is this gonna play out? Because it's one thing if you... Some people can't handle what it is to be on tour because you're always surrounded by people. You're never alone. And it is hard work. And I mean, we sat in that van 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
But it went great. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
It was the best and the worst experience of my life, being on tour.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to finish off today. Or do you have anything more to say about your music?
Not really.
No?
Just check out Blodet.
Yeah, they're great. Check it out. And we're going to finish off, and Hilda's going to show us her 5 favorite records from her record collection. So stay tuned. All right. As we established, you have a small but focused record collection, and now you're going to show us your 5 favorite records from your collection and talk a little bit about them. So here's Hilda's top 5 records from her record collection.
Boop, boop. Okay, so first up is Tom Waits, Blood Money. This is the first record that I ever bought on vinyl, and he's been an idol for, I don't know, a long time now. He's amazing. I love the soft songs. I love the early stuff where it's just him and a piano. And I love the later stuff where he's more like mental.
It sounds like a mentally unbalanced angry man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that's all right to
I
say.
think that's fine.
Yeah.
People know what you mean. This is a later era Tom Waits record as well. It's not one of his early stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great record.
And I don't know. I was gonna see if I could find like a favorite song. I love God's Away on Business.
Okay.
Check it out.
Yep. Perfect. put it over here. All right, so what's the next record you want to show us?
The next one is Keith Jarrett.
Do you know anything about him?
The Köln concert.
The Köln concert.
I got this from my dad as a gift.
Mm.
And I love it. I think it's an amazing piece of art.
Yeah.
No, but it's great. Just the piano concert.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know that much more about him.
And
I don't really care. I mean, I'm not a nerd like Dennis. I don't have to know everything about music that I like or about the people that I who make that music.
Yeah.
But
I tend to, whenever I find a record that I like, I really deep dive and then I want to know everything. But you're not like that.
No,
a lot of
not
times
really.
you're like, I don't know what artist this is, but this is a great song. I'm like, yeah.
I often have to like Google the lyrics to remember, even if it's an artist I really love, and so my mind works a bit different.
Yes. All right, Keith Jarrett, the Köln concert. Köln is Cologne in Germany, if you didn't know. All right, what do you got?
Number 3.
Number 3.
This is in no particular order.
All right.
I have Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Let Love In.
Yeah. This is an amazing record.
Yep.
And I also love Nick Cave.
Yep.
And you introduced me to him.
Yep.
I mean, musically.
Yeah.
But also, like,
personally, no.
No, I met him once.
Yes.
After a concert.
In Stockholm.
Yeah. And I don't know, my memory of this is that he was this like giant man. I mean, like,
he's a very tall man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like he had like huge hands. Kind of like a god.
All right.
That's my memory of it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not that big.
No. That's a great record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think maybe you bought this for me.
Probably, possibly, yeah. That seems very likely that I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because for the first couple of years we were hanging out, we didn't live together. No. So I got you a little record player set up, and I bought you some records, and yeah. Got you started. Perfect. All right, so far,
So good.
So far, so good. So far, I have 2. I don't have the Keith Jarrett record.
No.
And you got 2 more records. We'll see if I have them in my collection or they're only in your collection.
And let me know if you have them in yours.
Professional.
The 4th one is this Gillian Welch record called The Harrow and the Harvest. I grew up with country music, and this is close to heart.
Yeah. I don't have that one. That's not in my collection. I have a couple of country records, but not that much.
No. Tell me one.
I have some Townsend Sands records, and I have some Blaze Fowley records. I have a couple of Dolly Parton records.
Of course.
But not a whole lot of country music. But you grew up, your dad loves country music.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So you grew up with a lot of that. But that's a beautiful cover, and it's a good record.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Check it out. Gillian Welch. All right, and the final record you want to show us, what do you got for us?
Drum roll. It's this amazing band called Lankum.
Tell me more. Well, I know more, but tell people more.
It's an Irish alternative folk band.
This is a brand new record, right? It's from last year maybe, or this year even.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it's a brand new record.
Yeah, it's a new one. I love this record and their previous record. It's something I discovered through Lingua Ignota, which is also a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently she was inspired by this band.
Yeah, and it's kind of like folky Irish traditional music, but done in a sort of a alternative way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool record, actually.
And it's these long instrumental parts, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good.
You have a hard time with Irish
folk,
though.
Yes. I have an idea. I want to do an episode on 5 bands that I used to hate, and the Pogues is definitely one of them, because I've had a hard time with Irish music in general, but I have softened to it a little bit, so we'll see. Maybe one of these days. But this is a really cool record.
You also like Richard Thompson a bit now?
I do like Richard Thompson quite a lot, actually, so yeah, he's great. Yeah. But that's not, I mean, it's kind of folky, I guess.
Yes, it is.
It's very folky.
I would say this is in the same category as him, probably.
All right, it's cool.
Yeah.
Cool record.
So those are my 5 picks.
Yes, that's good. That's good picks. Thank you for being on my YouTube channel, and thank you for helping out with the thumbnails. And go check out Bluet and come and say hi in October when Invasion is coming on tour in Europe. You'll see Hilda playing keyboards and doing some vocals. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until next time, stay wild, my friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.